Hello and welcome to What Are You Saying? #Ways, where we talk about topics in the news as it affects us all. I am Musayome Sale, and again, I'm alone in the studio, but I think I have Glory with me. Hi, Glory. How are you? Hello,
Hi,
Glory.
Ua. Um, Hi, can you hear me?
I'm good. Yeah, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just hoping, like, because the network has been so crazy yesterday, I'm hoping it does not, like, interrupt the amazing show we are supposed to have today.
I hope so too. I hope so too. So how's the week been for you? When the protest started yesterday, how did it go for you?
The week has been well. Again, I saw your post on WhatsApp status. I also had like several calls from my family saying I should stay home and everything. So I was home yesterday, throughout yesterday. But it's so, well, I say, I feel so bad. Like my family is going to discover on national TV that I actually did go out today. I had a couple of meetings at the office. So I had to like go to the office today. And amazingly, it was better than I expected because I mean there was sort of some sort of movement in the morning and towards evening it became more busier. So that's not something I was expecting. I thought probably it would pick up more today being the second day, but to my greatest surprise, I think like things are actually going back to normal, like nothing is happening. That's in Lagos though. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's been relatively chill in Lagos, since the protest started. We've not really had any, what's it called, any crazy incidents. I think because, again, I feel like when it comes to issues around protest, Lagos has been the most hit in terms of like, lives being lost and all of that. So I think a lot of people are a lot more cautious and careful this time around protesting, right? So but yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
It's interesting. All right, so I mean, if you are yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, is at Official Upgrade TV. Click the link and subscribe, and be a part of our community on YouTube. Now, tonight we're having a conversation around comparative impact of protest versus the economic hardship. You know how people have been saying that looting, vandals, and all of those things, right? We really want to just kind of, and it would be nice if we can hear real life experiences, right? If they say, okay, protest and maybe looting and all of that, how much impact has it had on small businesses compared to the economic hardship, the prolonged economic hardship, and of course insecurity that is very, very prevalent within us. And here's what we found as today's course. It says small businesses are the backbone of our economy and the cornerstone of our communities. All right, so as you already know, is our SME day. So we talk small businesses every Friday. And as I'd mentioned, we want to compare. You know how they've just been, oh, your businesses, your this, the looting and all of that. How much impact is that compared to the economic hardship and the insecurities that we've faced? And when we open our phone lines, I'd love to hear from business owners. If you don't have a business or maybe you know someone, please, be part of the conversation. We'd love to hear what you have to say. But first, let's run off on a break. When we come back from that break, we want to see what we found in today's news. All right. International Bear Day is celebrated annually on the first day of August, or the first Friday rather of August. In 2024, this means it will be observed today. The day is dedicated to celebrating and enjoying beer, recognizing the role of brewers and bars, and bringing people together through this popular beverage. Now, it's a fun occasion for people to appreciate different types of beer, support local breweries, and engage in social activities and related to beer. International Beer Day has three declared purposes: to gather with friends and enjoy the taste of beer, to celebrate those responsible for brewing it and serving beer, and finally to unite the world under the banner of beer by celebrating the beers of all nations together on a single day. A cool beer deal. I know drink, I know sell, I know they there.
Mhm.
Glory,
Oh, invite me out now. Let's go and sit and
where
take
do I
some
start
bottles
from?
of beer. Start from somewhere.
Where do I start
You
from?
know, it's funny because I think I've had beer like let's say if I'm not exaggerating, 3 times in my entire life. The last time was last month, and yeah, I was influenced. I could not resist it. And when I tasted it, I think it's a new sort of brand. It tasted nice. I don't know, but I don't think I'm going to try it again because I don't want to go down that path.
It is where. Yeah, could be a day. So what did you find for us in the news today?
Um, it's like what I found in the news. I don't know if I should be. I'm not excited, but somehow I just feel intrigued. So it reads that the police special fraud unit has arraigned students of Moshood Abiola Polytechnic and Resign Regular Academy, Timothy Oluwabukola and Anthony Odemeho for allegedly hacking MTN Nigeria Communications PLC's computers and stealing airtime and data valued at 1.9 billion naira. Oluwabukola and Odumeho, who were arraigned before the Federal High Court in Lagos on Tuesday, are facing 4 counts bordering on conspiracy, unauthorized access into the company's web-based platform known as Application Programming Interface, and unlawful conversion preferred against them by the police. The Police Prosecution Counsel, Justin Enman, told the court that defendants committed alleged offenses with us now at large. I mean, you would think like something, I mean, students as intelligent as this, you would not know if this is like something you should be excited that they are quite intelligent, or you should be sad that they had to like go this far in order to prove this intelligence. I don't know. We have smart minds in Nigeria, smart minds, but I wish like people can utilize it positively. I mean, maybe they were trying to make a statement that we can do this. Imagine MTN. You would imagine the sort of the IT infrastructure of
That they
MTN,
have.
the security system, for them to be able to break in, yeah, to do that. That's how intelligent they are. But I think they just really did go overboard by, especially given the amounts in question here, about 1.9 billion. I mean, if they had probably just done a little just to show that we can do this, probably they might be somewhere now having an interview or a scholarship or something. But now I don't know how it's going to be. I don't know how the future is going to be like. If they've ruined their future, or maybe they've exposed themselves to better opportunities. I don't know.
Glory said that there might be somewhere collecting scholarships. So I was just going to say that there's a thing called ethical hacking, right? These are courses that people actually go to study. There are ethical hackers, and a lot of companies, right? They actually have those guys in their corner, those gigs, because again, whilst you're busy building your structure, and all of that, as long as you have a connection to the web, your company is at risk of the guys from the dark web. So ethical hackers actually go to school to train to become those people so they can help to continue to build firewalls and guard companies and all of that. So it tells me, if I were MTN, to quickly find a way, because again, in some climes people like this will actually be hired in those very high security units, because for them to have the capacity to be able to hack into, and when you said the amount, I would say to you that it's possible they must have tried a smaller figure and it went through before they now went on to this particular figure. It's not, they cannot just do it at once and just get it. And besides, these things are all digital numbers, right? The way I can press 1 million is the same way I can press 10 trillion, right? So it's just a one click and everything is taken out. So I would say that, yeah, I get you. But hey, crime is a crime. If you really want to become a professional, ethical hacker, there are companies that are looking for people to hire, because that skill is not particularly, common everywhere. It's a unique skill, and it's just so sad. I don't know what
Yeah.
their fate will become. Yeah. Okay, so Adeleke, Governor Adeleke, the Osun State Governor, Ademola Adeleke, announced the payment of the October 2022 cooperative deduction it inherited from his immediate past administration of Mr. Boyega Oyetola. And the governor further said that it paid another half salary debt totaling 7 months, half salary debt paid by the current government. And this was said by the spokesperson to the governor, Olawale Rashid. He noted that Adeleke inherited billions of naira in pension, cooperative deductions, and half salaries from the government of both Benga Oyetola and Rauf Beshola, covering the 12 years of APC government within their state. So this total, I think it came to, it says that the cooperative deduction was totaled at about almost 971 million. I just thought to bring this to bear because, again, given the current situation of things that are happening, when I hear certain kinds of agitations and I hear people saying that some of these things are politically motivated, you then look at it and say, no, I don't think that is 100% correct, because imagine you being owed, right? You being owed this much money, right? I mean, no, you don't need any motivation to put you out on the streets. And I really want to say this to Nigerian politicians, right? When you make certain kinds of statements, know that it is, you are just speaking from a very, very myopic place, because you think everything is about election. It's not about election. The people that are in Nigeria, they are seeing the pain. It is us Nigerians, small businesses, SMEs, who are the one feeling the brunt of every decision or decision you make or refuse to make, whilst you're there sitting at the federal level. This is what is affecting us as humans. So when you see things like this and you hear people saying that they are going out of the streets, don't be so small to think that it is just about politics, about who sits on a chair. People are people are tired, people are hungry. And that's why there is a protest, and that is why people are coming out despite all the threats and all of that. I think that should be a wake-up call. Not just being so convenient for you to say that, oh, people are protesting because they are sore losers, or they are they are political enemies. I think all those kind of narratives should just stop. We are tired in this country. We'll take a break, right? We want to have a conversation around the impact of protests on SMEs compared, in comparison with the prolonged economic hardship and insecurity. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's summer and time to hear what the teenagers are saying. Ways Teens Takeover 2024 promises to be an amazing week as our teenagers take over the show to discuss all national and social concerns as it affects them. Join your faves from last season: Alpha, Yasmin, Adora, Salma, Morolake, Ezinne, Ite, and watch out for the new additions to the team: Barisudo, Letam, Oluwajeri Arare, and Oluwatominini. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us across all our social media platforms, and most importantly, tell every teenager you know to be a part of a special summer edition. Starting from the 12th of August through to the 16th of August 2024, these amazing teenagers will be on your TV screens. Ways Teens Takeover, where the voices of our teenagers count.
Staying with us. So tonight we're still going to be talking about the ongoing pressing issue that's currently making headlines across Nigeria. That's the ongoing hunger protest. And these demonstrations are a powerful response to the severe economic hardship and insecurity that many Nigerians are facing. The protests, driven by widespread frustration over rising food prices and an inability of many to meet their basic needs, have captured the nation's attention. In recent months, the economic crisis has been exacerbated by a surge in insecurity, notably kidnappings, and have targeted business leaders, prominent figures. For instance, several high-profile businessmen have been abducted, underscoring the severe threat faced by those trying to operate in an increasingly unstable environment. Just last month, a prominent trade fair businessman was marred by a kidnapping incident and that shocked both participants and public. Now, recall that 43% of small businesses in Lagos State lost over 1 million each to looting during the EndSARS protest, and of course, that is not really impactful compared to the prolonged economic hardship that had been ongoing. So on this basis, we're having a conversation to compare the impact of protest versus the economic hardship as it affects small businesses. All right, so let me come to you. But before I come to you, Glory, I want to read something that I found in the news, right? That was said by Senator Orji Uzor Kalu. It says, what we're seeing at the moment is against all principle and guidelines that makes protest a tool to responsibly deal with the very needs of the people. We did not want this protest to hold, not because it is wrong, not because it is not constitutional and democratic right of the people to do so. We vehemently stood against it because we knew it will spiral into the carnage we are witnessing at the moment. The ongoing protest defies everything appealing and against all perceptions of international law guiding protests. The looting has started, homes and institutions of state being vandalized, and who knows, if the protest is not stopped, how many lives would be lost. If the protest was meant to question issues as regards bad governance as opened by the protesters and organizers, then what we are witnessing is a far cry from the protest, from what the protest was supposed to achieve. I'll leave it there. Glory, let me come to you. First of all, I've not had a conversation around the protest. What has been your assessment so far?
I think that the protest has been pretty much, from my point of view, it's been pretty much under control when it comes to some certain states. Yes, I can gather that some certain states in the north, they were like, it was becoming sort of an anarchy where they were vandalizing government property. But if we also look at other states too, we can see that it's quite peaceful, taking reference Lagos, and I could also see Edo State too, where the governor came out to address the people. So it's not as horrible as I perceived it was going to be, with everything and all the buzz and everything that's been going on before the actual protest date. But notwithstanding, I don't know how this is going to escalate, because again, making reference to EndSARS, it just started like a peaceful protest. People were coming out, speaking, having fun, even so many things were going on, and suddenly just one day, everything just turned south. So I don't know if that's going to be, I'm hoping that that's not going to be the same case, because I could also see videos of, will I say, force from the police force, and also I could also see some social media influencers coming out to say the tear gas. Even yesterday, I also think I saw videos of tear gas along the toll gate area. So, but generally, I think it's not been as horrible as we initially thought it was going to be. And we hope that in terms of the areas where there's been violence or something, it de-escalates and, everything settles eventually.
Interesting. So it's good you're mentioning the things you saw. And speaking to that regard, right, Jigawa, Kano, Katsina, I think they have declared, what's it called, state of emergency or curfew, and I'm not sure which of them now is. But because of the looting, and I want to particularly draw our attention to the video of the people that have been looting, because I have seen a pattern where you see peaceful protesters gather. You see a lot of heavy security personnel there. But where you see looting and vandals operating, you don't see the same. Because now look at this video where people are visibly destroying public property in Kano, and there is no sign of the security personnel there. So I keep on asking this question: who is empowering these thugs, these vandals? Who empowers them? Right? Who is empowering them? And now, speaking to small businesses, it will interest the government to know that a lot of small businesses have had to go and develop a kind of what's called security measure for their businesses. This is years now. We're not even talking about times like this, because the truth is, for thugs, for vandals, miscreants, to have the audacity and the boldness to write to you as a business owner, or to write to you as somebody living in an estate. They write to an entire estate and they say that they are coming to your houses. It's either you settle them or they come to your houses. Farmers have been written to in the past. They have told them that if you do not pay a certain amount of money, you cannot come into your farmland to farm, or you cannot come in to harvest, or you cannot pass a certain route. Now, these are prolonged, implications of some of these insecurities that we are facing, right? So when we see things like this and they are capitalizing on just the the vandalism and the looting, to say, okay, that is the reason a protest should not hold, then it just begs the question: what have people been going through all these years? Because a lot of businesses have had to devise different kinds of means, different kinds of security measures just to protect their businesses. Because whether we like it or not, I've said this thing several times, we are sitting on a keg of gunpowder. The people that we see on the roads every single day, hawking and begging and all of those things, these are all security threats. It's just a matter of time for something to trigger them and they begin to vandalize or they begin to attack people. So it is not because there is a protest that is why vandals are operating. It is because the situation, right, of prolonged neglect, prolonged prolonged years of bad governance is what has brought this product that we call miscreants, this products that we call thugs, and all these people that go about, attacking people. But let me hear your thoughts, Glory, on this.
Uwa, you're very right. You're really spot on. When it comes to comparing, we've just gotten to that point where, it's just the deep blue sea. What's that statement? It's just if you want to go left, it's not like it's better, right? Because we are actually, as a nation, we are going through so much struggles, including SMEs themselves. So should we say that we should not lend our voice or come out to talk about our hardship because we are afraid of these hoodlums vandalizing businesses? At the same time, we also do not want to be exposed to this sort of risk. So it's just a very, very sad situation that no matter the angle you look at it, there's just still some pain to SME businesses. I watched a video of a hair vendor saying, I don't know if it's, I can't exactly recall, but it was bothered around she carrying all her wigs to her house because she did not know how the situation is going to be like, and maybe hoodlums vandalizing, just like we also witnessed during the NSAS, where we had places shop right, businesses being vandalized, and so many things happening. But then again, should we say that because we are afraid of all of this, we should not speak out? Because if we look at the trend, the things, the accumulated things or events that has happened that brought us to this point of protest, is still saddening. There's inflation, food hike, businesses themselves are not making profit, interest rates going over the roof. These are still situations that will still end up destroying businesses and are still destroying businesses, even though we know that this is probably going to be a long-term sort of situation when compared to a situation where there is unrest due to protests that has gone south, such that we have hoodlums vandalizing businesses. Those are instant losses. If someone comes, if a hoodlum goes to your shop or takes your goods away, you've lost it entirely, and it's very instant. But then again, I I just think it's just a very bad situation, because we have honestly gotten to the point where we need to speak out, because there have been several other means through which businesses, civil rights groups have come out to speak, but nothing has been done so far. Rather, we are seeing things getting worse and worse and worse. So if I may compare, I will say that at this point, we just have to do what we have to do, because there is no easy way out. If you want to say you don't want to do this so that it's not get to a situation where there's anarchy, there's destruction and all of that, then you keep quiet. What's the guarantee that's going to get better? Or they may just feel like, oh, we are still very elastic. We can still be stretched and we continue to suffer. So it's just a very, very, very bad, horrible situation, Uwa. But I think like we've just gotten to that point where we just have to do what we have to do. We have to come out, we have to speak out, while still engaging security forces, taking various measures to try to secure ourselves and our businesses personally.
Absolutely. Glory. I mean, see, because you see, I've said this thing several times, right? When you refuse to educate a people, when you refuse to bring good governance to a people, what you are just breeding, ticking time bombs. That's all they are. Because a lot of young people are idle, not educated, or some ill-educated. Some of them, they are unemployable, right? Some of them, there's just a lot that is going on. Some of them are unemployed. Some of them are unemployable. So when you say that businesses, this is what we are saying. This is why we said do not allow yourselves to be to be part of the protest, because you know it would affect businesses. Businesses are already suffering. Now, if we even look at the policies around small businesses, if I were in a different climb, Glory, for the kind of vision that I have, all I need to do is to walk into a banking institution. I don't have to bring my mother's kidney or my father's liver. You understand? I don't have to bring all those very strict, stringent, things they ask for as collateral. You are able to access financing so that you're able to build a business. And once you're building a business, there are so many things that you do not worry about. A small business right now, you think about your power, you think about everything. You think some businesses have to think about even the road leading to their businesses. Some people have to think about the security around the environment just to protect their businesses. So we are already in a very, very, bad dilemma. So we don't have to, as it is as a small business, if you are saying that a protest, right, would impact small businesses, people will get, your stores will be looted and all of that. What we are facing is even worse than looting. Right? The economic hardship we're facing is worse than looting. You do a transaction, you cannot even see profit. Some people have complained how even their poultries, right? All their eggs went bad because there was nobody buying the products from them. Do you get what I'm saying? There's a lot that is happening.
Yeah.
So if you really want to be intentional as a government to say, oh, you want to help the small businesses who, by the way, are the main drivers of every economy that is serious, right? You will be intentional about your policies, and there's no corner or mago inside. You know, I want a situation where we get to that point where we impute, we take advantage of technology to grow small businesses. I don't need to know anybody. If they say there's a federal government loan available, I should be able to just put in my application and get it without somebody asking me to come and sign behind closed doors that once I get the money, this is their percentage. Because these are the things that we see. We have very beautiful policies on paper, but bring them to implementation and let us see how these businesses are able to access it. You say that you have given farmers things, they are not seeing it. Some middleman is collecting those things. So when I want to really look at the impact, right? Protest is nothing. Protest has nothing in terms of impact compared to the economic hardship that businesses are already facing. So, I mean, that's why a lot of people are saying that even during the NSAS protest, SBM Intelligence did a survey and they interviewed, I think, about 180 businesses. Some of them were saying that it's okay, as long as, you know, yes, I lost maybe like $1 million or whatever, but as long as at the end of this protest, if it is going to bring results and give us better leadership and better governance, then it is going to benefit all of us as well. So a lot of people are saying that if I stay here, I die. If I go, I die. So I rather go and die.
Exactly.
Do you understand? That's what businesses are also facing.
That's the point we are now.
Absolutely. But you know what? Let's take a break because I'd like us to open our phone lines Then we'll continue the conversation. If you're a small business, it will be really nice for you to, lend your voice to this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, thanks for staying with us. Now, if you just tuned in, we're having a conversation around the comparative impact of protests versus economic hardship on small businesses, right? And please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-8038-4663. Call us on 07025007749. I think we have another number as well. Call us on that number as well. Please, when you call, turn off the volume of whatever device it is you're watching us from, so we don't get a feedback. It's important you turn it off and just talk immediately so that we can get in as many calls as possible. All right, so Glory, looting, looting is not unique to Nigeria. Have you seen all those videos in the US? Designer stores, like big stores, people just go in and just cut away with things. And even you see, there's one, I think it was at Walmart. The till lady was trying to struggle with the person. The other security just let the person go. Because a lot of businesses have also looked at it and said there are some things I cannot control. And they've taken up certain kinds of insurance policies, right? So maybe businesses should just take up insurance. So at least your business is protected. But the truth is that you cannot tell people because your business will be vandalized or your spaces will be vandalized, then people should not go and demand for good governance from the government. But when it comes to looting, it is not unique to us in Nigeria. I have seen crazy videos in the US and I was wondering like, what's going on? Designer bags, stealing things. Some young guys went into a sneaker store and they took a lot of sneakers. I mean, it's not a new thing. But let me hear your thoughts, Glory.
Like I just feel like business owners need to look at it differently. Yes, it's a very, no business owner knowing how much you've invested in your business we want to lose something. But if you have to start looking at it in terms of longevity, what are you fighting for? What are you trying to achieve? The situation of things now, right? If some certain changes do not take place in the economy, your children are going to be affected. Your great-grandchildren are going to be affected. They are going to go through the same struggles that you go through. So if there's a mindset shift to know that whatever cause you're going in for, the purpose for this is you're trying to secure the future of your children and your great-grandchildren, then the losses you perhaps might or might not encounter now will not, yes, it's painful, but you still want to go into that cause. Because really, what else can you do? Everything is horrible at this point. It's so horrible. How long that business you're probably trying to secure now, how sustainable do you think it's going to be in the next 5 years if things keeps degenerating like this? We're just talking about, it's barely a year. This year alone, things have gone really, really south. Just imagine spending the next 4 years and things are going back negatively, progressively, like it is doing. Then you have nothing to hold on to. So if I feel like what the government or the people say, okay, because they're trying to prevent all the looting and all of that, that question or that concern should be directed to the government, because it is not new to Nigeria to know that when we have situations like this, there will be looting, people will try to hijack it to do. So it is to direct that question, that intensity to our security forces. What are they doing to protect the lives and property of people during periods and times like this? Since we know that it is not new to Nigerians, what are the efforts? There were conversations, I think we talked about it, where they've gathered intelligence. What was done about those intelligence? Now we know that, especially, okay, we can say that in the north this has been going on. Let's look at the education. If we have to compare, do an educational comparison. If you look at the people doing this, you will know that there are probably people that are just looking for opportunity to get some things for themselves. So these are the areas where the security is supposed to intensify more efforts.
No, so let me tell you something, Glory, let me tell you something. For the fact that people are going to vandalize public properties, right? It is a big slap on the face of the government, in case they do not know. This is actually even further revealing how bad the situation is. Because is it you and I that are going to go and loot things? Or the people we know within our circle?
Of course not.
That is the point. The fact that we even have people that are available and in these large numbers that can be used as tools to go and vandalize things and destroy public properties, it tells us that that is where the problem is, that we truly have a big problem in our hands. Do you understand? We have a huge problem on our hands. Because how on earth? Is it my children or is it the people around me that will go and be vandalizing? Or are you going to pay me 500 naira to say, let me go and destroy public property when I know the implications? So when you have continuously used, what's it called, education, poverty as a weapon, right? This is the outcome. Yes. So now we are breeding a large number of Nigerians, right, who do not even have any goal or any mission in life. The only mission they have in this life is to be available at the point where the politician says, start to jump, and they jump. Because for us to have this number of people going all over the place and looting things and destroying things, it tells me that that's the more reason that we should be alarmed that we have a big problem in our hands. Very sad. Very, very sad.
Very sad.
Very, very sad. Honestly, it's very sad.
And I mean, I feel like this is not coming as a surprise at all. It is not coming as a surprise. So using it as one of the reasons to say people should not go out to express or protest, it's not. It just shows how incompetent, you know, things are, or incompetent. It just shows how we are not, or the government is not competent to handle some certain things. People are supposed to feel safe when they're going out to protest, because they're just expressing their civic rights. You know, people are not supposed to be scared that they are going to lose things.
Gloria, I beg to differ. I don't think it is competence. Let us quantify it with the right word. It is negligence. You are choosing to turn a blind eye. It's not lack of competence that they cannot curb these people. It is because they have chosen to turn a blind eye for meat. But let me take our first caller for the evening. Good evening. Good evening, you're live. Hello? Can we hear him? You know, so Glory, do you understand? There is competence, right? That I lack competence. And there's the one that I choose to just turn a blind eye, which is negligence. Do you understand? Those are two different things. This government they've never shown that they are not competent. They are competent. They are very competent. They can do the job. But they choose which work they want to do. Because look at how convenient it is. You see vandals everywhere, vandalizing things, no single police presence. But when you move to the people that are there without weapons or anything,
what baffles me?
They are tear gas everywhere.
You know what baffles me? Before the protest, the number of police they said they put out for this purpose, where are they? You know, I see a lot of them here in Lagos, you know, but what about the other parts of Nigeria? What's happening there? What's really happening there? Because you would think that, you know, when this whole protest came up, and, you know, we had the number of security agencies and security they are going to put out on the street, you would think that things like this will not happen. Or even if it happens, it's at the bare minimum. But to see the amount of vandalism that's been going on in some certain parts of Nigeria, it's really surprising. Was it for show?
It's not surprising to be, but let's take our
really,
caller.
Mind-boggling.
Very mind-boggling. Loma, I think you're back. Go ahead. Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening, thank you. Today I want to let us know one thing. I'm very, very angry with what I'm saying. I'm telling you. Because why must people vandalize? Is that the reason for the protest? It's quite unfortunate. This is not protest, please. who don't have to this thing. You cannot tell me people are protesting for the bad governance.
So I keep on asking this question, Loma. Who empowers these hoodlums? Because hoodlums cannot just go and attack just like that. Somebody will have to settle them at the end of the day. Let me take Sani. Good evening. Thank you for calling.
Hello.
Go ahead. Good evening.
Hello. My name is good evening. My name is Sani Adamu.
Thank you for calling.
Yes, I'm calling from Adamawa State. Hello.
Sani, you have to turn off the volume of whatever it is that you are watching. I can hear myself in the background. Turn it off, then you can speak. Okay, Glory. Who is empowering these hoodlums?
I mean, I heard that.
Who empowers them?
I heard
because
that
hoodlums will be paid at the end of the day for a job well done, right? They will go and attack businesses. They will go and attack people, and somebody will pay them at the end for a job well done. Hello, Sani. I think Sani is back. Glory, I'll come back to you. Hello.
Okay.
Go ahead, please.
I'm with my issue. Hello. My issues regarding the issue of vandalizations. That's actually why we that came out for the make a peaceful demonstrations. It's a shameful fault. It's a shame because some people take it as something that is not even similar to the protest that we came out. They are destroying their properties. Some of them, they are thieves. They are not their own. They are not. I don't know how to use to mention it because they are not part of the demonstration because their own aims to destroy and steal people's properties and destroy the shop of the peoples.
Thank you so much.
This is actually not part of the demonstration because we came out for the peace demonstrations.
Absolutely, Sani. I agree with you. They cannot be part of the demonstrators. It is impossible for these people to be categorized as protesters. And that's what I keep on saying, that when you see things like this happening, where hoodlums are beginning to vandalize and do all of those things, it tells you how bad the situation of the country is. Because, I mean, it is not you and I that would go and break into or vandalize things. We won't do that, right? It tells us that there's a big problem.
Yes.
You know, so regardless whether there's a protest or not, these guys are all ticking time bombs waiting to happen, right? Very soon, if they're not able to continue to do their petty stealing or whatever it is they're doing, they'll begin to attack people. You'll be like, literally, I do, I'll be damned. If I don't do, I'll be damned. It's the same. That's where we are right now as a people. But Glory, let me come back to you.
I mean, this is a journey, you know, we must go through this path. If we don't go this path, we will stay on the same spot, suffering, complaining years to come. So I understand the first caller, his concerns about this is not the purpose, but we need to maintain the status quo. What is the purpose for this protest? It's not to destroy government property. It's not for anything other than the good of Nigeria, which is reduction of inflation, reduction of the hardship of the people, improvement in the standard of living and the cost of living. So
Okay, let me take a caller, Gloria. I'll come back to you. From Adamawa State. Thank you for calling. Hello? Did we lose the person? Glory, go ahead, please. Hello?
So you and I, who know the reason for this, would not go out destroying people's businesses. So those who are doing that are definitely not part of the protest. But should we say we are going to stop, you know, expressing ourselves and expressing our concerns as citizens of our nation, Nigeria? No, we have to. We have to, because if you keep quiet, these same people will still come out tomorrow. They will rob. They will do other things. They are just like Uwa said, ticking time bomb. So because of all this does not still, you know, this should not be a deterrent for a good cause such as this. That's what I believe.
Well, let me take a call and I'll come back. Hello, good evening.
Good evening. I wanted to express myself more.
Okay.
Lawman from Abia State.
Oh yeah, go ahead, please.
So what I'm just saying, what we are witnessing on the telly now, this is actually what is happening live. Those people that are doing it are criminals. And I'm not happy for them doing that. This is not the reason why the protest was set up in first place. But I want to tell our military something. The main work of our military is to protect the territorial integrity of this country. Don't instill fear in the life of the protector. Please, our military, make sure that whatsoever you are doing, you don't do the work of the police. Allow the policemen to do their work. The policemen are not overwhelmed. Don't instill fear, because we will be fighting the protesters while people will come, foreigners will come into this country and start bombing here and there. Please protect our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lomba. Oh God, I don't know how else to say this thing. You have a large population of people that are uneducated and they are poor. What do you expect? The fact that we still have people that are willing to be used as tools in the hands of bandits, in the hands of people that are kidnappers, armed robbers, and all of that, it tells you that we are in a dire situation. I mean, it is, what do you expect? What do you expect? That is the reality of where we are in Nigeria. The fact that things like this are happening tells you how bad the situation is. But I think we have a caller from Abuja. Go ahead, you're live.
Hello.
Yes, you're live.
Okay. Please, I'm from the north. I was born and brought up from the north. Now, where we have much of this breaking into properties are usually from the north. Where we have lots of properties are usually from the north. Now, what I think we from the north need to do is we need to educate our people. Our people believe protest is zanga-zanga. Now, zanga-zanga in Hausa means protest. An average northerner, once you say zanga-zanga, he believes it is going to destroy somebody's property. Basically, that is what protest zanga-zanga meaning in Hausa. Zanga-zanga, they believe it's going to scatter somebody's property. So I think the northerners, I would ask my own brothers, we have a lot of things to do. We have to enlighten our people that zanga-zanga doesn't necessarily mean going to destroy somebody's property, going to scatter your own brother's property or government property. It doesn't mean zanga-zanga.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I didn't get your name. It's so interesting. But like it says zanga-zanga. My point is still the same. Ill-educated or zero educated and poverty. Bad combination. It's a very bad combination. But I think we have another caller. Okay. All right. So while they are getting the name, Glory. It's so interesting. Hello.
The last caller was
spot on. I think we have another caller.
The last caller was spot on. They need to be.
Ibrahim, sorry, Glory. Let me take Ibrahim, then I'll come back to you. Ibrahim, you're live.
Okay. Yes. Sorry. My contribution is, the truth is that we the Northerners, I'm from North. We the Northerners, the way we are behaving, a lot of us did not go to school. That is what is causing the ignorance. If not, it is very, very surprising for somebody to start vandalizing government property. To be vandalizing government property. So it is very, very unfair for we the Northerners. You are look at the video on the screen. Nobody is sending all those boys, but the truth is that they are ignorant of what they are doing because they did not go to school. So it is good for parents to be sending their children to school.
Thank you so much, Ibrahim. Glory. I don't know what else to say.
He said it is good for parents to be sending. That's an interesting. But to be fair on the North, though, I think this time around, we would say it's a little controlled when it comes to like other parts of Nigeria. Talking about Lagos, because we've not yet seen those sort of situations. But we know that it could. We've also experienced that. Even though we know when it happened during NSAS, it was also fueled by someone somewhere, but these are things that could happen in any part of Nigeria, especially given the current situation where it is easy to influence people. You know, you watch videos of, I saw videos of some of these people against the protest, where they were admitting to receiving, is it 5,000 to 1,000 naira? Just imagine, you know, the little change people can go for to sell their birthright. So it's rather saddening that this time around we are seeing a lot of this happening or coming from the north. And like our callers have been saying, enlightenment is very, very important. Educating them on the reason why this is even happening in the first place is very, very important, because we cannot keep quiet when things are going bad, especially when there's been other means through which we've been trying to communicate our sufferings. Media outlets have been talking about this since the beginning of this year. Internet has been buzzing has been really buzzing about the hardship we are facing. So we've just gotten to this point where we just have to do what we have to do. And the only thing we can really say is having this knowledge of what is going on, and knowing that there are high possibilities of some of these protests being hijacked by hoodlums, by people that will convey a different message from what the original purpose of the protest is about. Then we need our security agencies to step up and do what they are meant to do.
Leo, let me take Leo's call, because this matter with security agencies, I will just not say anything again. Okay, I think we lost Leo. Glory, why do you? I don't understand how. I like the optimism. Have you ever seen the police when they want to work? It is impossible for anything to go past them if the police wants to work. Do you understand what I'm saying? A government warned you guys, do not protest. Una say una get coconut head, una go protest. So you think that the government is not actually waiting for that moment where they say, did I not tell you so? Do you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things playing out here. There is a lot of things playing out here. Somebody needs to prove it right that they've told you that protest is not the way. If you protest, this is what is going to happen. So they would also ensure that just the way it has been predicted, that is how it plays out. Right? And when you are dealing with people that are not educated, how do you expect? Some of these guys do not even have a clue what minimum wage is. They don't have a clue what a living wage is. They don't have a clue what the fuel prices are. Do you know? They just say, oh, go. And, you know, there's something that happens within the country. But let me hold my thoughts. Let me control myself. But let me take Hawa. Hawa, you're live.
Okay. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Please, my concern is, I'm a Northerner. I'm from Kaduna State, but I am still what our very bad. I think say that the protest is not good, but what they are doing is not. They will be using it for Northerners. Please, if you want to do protest, so that the government hear what they are saying and understand what they are. It's not this kind of protest, killing, warning, and others. And we know protests, they are not doing protests with children, entering some shops, stealing people's properties. Please, because sometimes if we say this, they will use it to insult us that we understand what they are doing. They will be using it against us for saying truth.
Thank you, Hawa. So what seems to trigger this whole protest in the first place is when the politicians start being flamboyant with taxpayers' money, from jets to jeeps to allowances going up, etc. When they claim the country is broke. They should take a cue from Kaduna State Governor on being frugal in such economic times. In other thought, the barbaric vandals' action should remind our leaders on the quality of Nigeria's education. These vandals are short-sighted on the effects on society. Also, National Orientation Agency should have moved quickly on sensitizing the citizens on the negative impact on vandalism from the inception of the rumors of the protest. I agree with you, but people have refused to do the work. Glory, we have a minute to go. Let me hear your final thoughts on this.
I would say we are at that point where it's, no matter how you look at it, there's just something, there's just something that's not right, you know. And there's no way out at this point. We need to speak out and protest. Peaceful protesting. It's one of the ways which Nigerians can express their civic rights and express their displeasure. So we've just gotten to that point, and we have to stay focused on it, and hoping that the government will listen to us. And also to SMEs, definitely, I think we should look at it. We should look at the broader picture. Is this how we want to be in the next 10 years, 20 years? How is it going to be like? What sacrifices are we willing to pay now for a better Nigeria? So if we look at it that way, then there will be a proper perspective. You have proper perspective, and you have proper guidance on what decisions to make with respect to your business.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Glory. Do I want to leave my final thoughts? I want to say to the government, the truth is, whatever it is that we are orchestrating, whether intentionally or unintentionally, in the long run, right, it is going to have a ripple effect on everybody. So it might not affect you today, but it would affect you some way in a way or the other. So I would say that, let us see some level of honesty and openness and, integrity, even in the fight against vandalism and all of the ills of the society. Let it not just be that I'm acting based on, I'm just looking away. Act of vandalism you see during the protest is simple, and the failure of government and these children with this destructive tendency are supposed to be in schools, and some of them can hardly eat in a day. So they are potential anything. Even in America, looting goes on during protests, but a sensitive government have to be proactive, and you can see even the president now is incommunicado. This is from Raphael. We'll see you guys on Monday. Hopefully we'll continue the conversation as we see the things affecting us. We'll see you live on Monday.